Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Raina with the AJ Project Inc. coming to share straight truth. Do you know that's our slogan? That's our main slogan. Do you know that that is what the AJ Project Inc. is founded on? Truth. Why? Because truth dismantles lies. And these young adults have swapped out the truth, like they swap out their engines and their transmissions for a lie. They swap out the truth and they replace it with a lie, with many lies, actually. These young adults have built up lies and lies, and they are just one car ride away from their house of lies crumbling down and taking them to death and taking others to death with them. It is only in sharing straight truth that we will eradicate this problem. And it is only in sharing straight truth that we will save lives. So why do we say straight? Well, because we give it straight up. And sometimes I might say it softly, sometimes I might be very deliberate and exacting with my words. I can be sweet, but truth is truth, and it's best that it's served straight up. A few days ago, there was a man that made a comment on our page. I think initially he thought that I was going to agree with him when he asked this question, and he commented, "Oh, so we should be crying tears for those dead kids. They got what they deserved." And I'm paraphrasing, but you can go and look at the post because I kept it up. I left that comment up because even though I don't agree with everything that this man said, he is a driver. He is affected by the reckless driving and the illegal street racing. And I do believe that he wants to see this eradicated. He is entitled to his opinions. And I know that his opinions are shared by many. So I left that comment up. I believe he left the group, but I still left those comments up, and I post a link here for you to go and see it yourself. Now, having said all of that, I will never agree with inhumane celebratory expressions in response to the suffering and the death of others. Yes, these young adults are reckless. Yes, these young adults are an imminent threat to themselves and to others, especially to innocent, unsuspecting bystanders. But to be happy that they died tragically, no. To be happy and to say that they got what they deserved, no. To not have sympathy and compassion on their parents, their families, their siblings, to not even have a heart and consider the pain that they're going through, the tragedy and the trauma that they are swimming and drowning in? No. In my opinion, that is sick and that is evil. This particular crash that this man commented on involved a single vehicle. It was the occupants, and it was only the occupants inside this vehicle who perished. And it is important that I share this tidbit, which isn't a tidbit, but it's important that I share this piece of information because by nature, human nature, our levels of compassion do diminish for the driver if they kill other people, innocent bystanders in their crash. And so the fact that I have to share this tidbit, which isn't a tidbit, but I have to include this additional bit of information, is further evidence of how truly evil and divisive this illegal street racing and reckless driving crisis phenomena subculture is. Not only is this death style of illegal street racing and reckless driving an evil monster, but it's a multi-faced monster as well. See, to the young adults, it shows itself as beautiful, as attractive, seducing, alluring, something that they need to have, that they need to do, that they need to be a part of, to be considered as the man, to be considered as the woman, the girl, her, him. To grown adults, it shows itself as a vehicle of permission for us to be self-righteous and condemning and forgetful too. We grown adults forget what manner of teenager and young adult we once were, or in some instances that we still are to this day. So we get to condemning and we get self-righteous, we get arrogant, prideful, and we forget that we are still here alive today because somebody prayed for us. Somebody took the time to mentor us while we were funky, while we were up to our nostrils in our filth, in our pollution, and inches away from killing ourselves and killing other people. I am not justifying this death style. I am demolishing it. I want to show you something. These young adults are driving fast and deadly. They are transforming cars into vehicles of death. And some grown adults are speaking death over them. So we have the young adults that are driving the vehicles of death, and we have the grown adults that are fueling and filling the tanks of these vehicles with words of death. So are we really surprised that death keeps happening? Young adults are driving deadly. Grown adults are speaking deadly. Death manifests. And we continue the pattern. We line back up at the starting line. We start the race again, expecting different outcomes, and yet the bodies continue to pile up. The jails continue to be filled. The parents, the mothers, continue to weep and to mourn in the streets. The trauma continues to be added on. Death is reigning. Death is the one that is winning. We have to work together. Both sides of this divide, the racers and the young adult, I'm sorry, the racers and the grown adults, the grown adults and the grown adults. We have to come together in the middle to put an end to this. And to that point, I want to finish showing you what was written thousands of years ago in the Dead Sea Scrolls about Lady Folly. I made a video the other day about it, and I want to finish it out now. Now, just remember, I recently discovered this text a few days ago. I've had this book since March. Shout out to my beautiful sister, Tamika, for the birthday present. I appreciate you so much. And we at the AJ Project Inc., we have been saying that this is a spirit that is seducing and luring young adults since 2021. So for us to find this text the other day is almost like a confirmation for us that we are speaking the truth. So let's look at what is written about Lady Folly in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Lady Folly's evil intent pervades her being. Folly produces nothingness. Whoa. Nothingness? Nothingness is the absence or the cessation of life or existence. Folly produces nothingness. She is always seeking error. Her eyes are befouled with perversity. Her hands grip corruption tight. Her feet come down to do evil and to walk in the crimes. Her thighs are pillars of darkness. Lady Folly's clothing and dwelling reveal the corruption of wickedness. Her robes are gloom of twilight, while her jewelry is infected with rot. Her bed is a couch of corruption, pits of hell. She holds sway in the dead of the night. She settles amongst the tents of silence. Okay, let me just say this. So you see, this is why we can't keep silent. When we don't confront our kids, when we don't make a demand on city councilors and on politicians and on district attorneys to change the laws, when we don't make a demand on law enforcement by picking up the phone and calling 911 to report street racing, to report takeovers, to report reckless driving, burnouts, donuts, when we don't do those things, then we have entered and allowed silence to come upon us. And we make space for Lady Folly to have residence and to enlarge her, her possession of our streets, of our territory, of our children, of our neighborhood, of our homes. We can't keep silent. Okay. Lady Folly, she has no part with any of those illuminated by brightness. Are you illuminated by brightness, which comes with the light of truth? Lady Folly's path. She is the beginning of all evil paths for all who take possession of her. Destruction comes to all who take a hold of her, for her ways are deadly. They end in evil and in criminal wrongdoing. Her gates are the gates of death. All who take possession of her go down to the grave. Tell me that this is not what we are seeing with these street racers, with their takeovers. That this is not what we are seeing with their reckless driving. Rewind what I just said. Please do me a favor. Rewind what I just said and listen to the description of Lady Folly. Close your eyes. Listen to the description of Lady Folly, and then tell me that you can't see Lady Folly personified and taking a hold of these young adults. Again, I am not excusing this. You know I am on a mission to destroy completely to smithereens this wickedness of illegal street racing and reckless driving. And I'm not just chopping this tree down and bringing it level to the ground. Why not? For two reasons. Number one, the stump that's left behind will trip somebody else up. And number two, the stump that's left behind will regrow sprouts. And those sprouts will lead to new branches. And those new branches will lead to new trees. And those new trees will lead to new leaves. And those new leaves will lead to new poison. No, we have to uproot this thing. And it's only when we uproot this thing that we can then say we have truly eradicated illegal street racing and reckless driving amongst teenagers and young adults. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing. Thank you for your willingness to be a part of the solution to what has been called a national crisis. We invite you to continue to participate in this necessary work of saving lives. We encourage you to participate in our GoFundMe campaign and help us to fuel up for the race ahead. We have been driving hard since 2021. And we've gone a long distance and we've seen some incredible things. But there is way, way, way more work to be done. There is still many places for us to go. And your generous donations will help us tremendously. There is no donation that is too small. Really, we mean that. $1, $5, every bit counts, every bit is needed, every bit is appreciated. For every $50 donation and greater, we will send you a copy of our book, Walking in the Whirlwind, Seeing Heaven in the Center of Your Storm, as a way to say thank you. We also invite you to share the GoFundMe campaign with your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your neighbors. You know, I mentioned our book, Walking in the Whirlwind, Seeing Heaven in the Center of Your Storm. And not only do we at the AJ Project Inc. race to save the lives of young adults, we frequently shift gears to walk alongside bereaved mothers, grandmothers, and aunts, these precious women who know the indescribable pain of laying a child to rest. So we walk alongside them on this new leg of their journey. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes we need somebody to put our oxygen mask on so that we can breathe. Our bereavement support is just another pillar within the AJ Project Inc. And your donations help us to continue to walk the race of saving lives. If you are a bereaved mother, grandmother, or aunt, and you would like to connect with other women who understand this journey, and you are based in Southern California, we invite you to join us on July 8th from 10:30 to 12:30 at the Menifee Public Library for our Paint and Pray. This is a free event. We just ask that you register ahead of time so that we can be sure that we have sufficient painting supplies. You can send an email to Raina at the AJ Project Inc. in order to register. Again, we thank you. Share the videos, please. Encourage your family and friends to like and subscribe to our YouTube, our social media, Facebook and Instagram pages. Until next time, continue to slam the brakes on illegal street racing and reckless driving in your homes, in your children, in your streets, in your communities.